The whole truth, nothing but the truth, the unspoken truth.
You know what I mean? Shorty, come with me. And this is how we come into frame. So, I'm gonna try this TV show thing and see how it goes, you know? I go by the name of KupidakaQ. It's the foundation, aka Little Still Your Female, whatever you want to call me. I don't know. But this is the unspoken truth, right? So today's story, what we're going to talk about is how I got into music. I'm not even going to say career or whatever, blah, blah, how I got into music, which led to my career, obviously. But to do that, you have to actually start from the beginning. So let's start there. So, obviously, growing up as a kid, I'm Antiguan and Guyanese, by the way, for those who don't know. Growing up as a kid, family, sisters, brothers, would listen to, music and stuff. So that go from anywhere from soca to reggae to hip hop, dancehall. I spent most of my childhood in Antigua, and once I moved from Antigua, I came to Florida. So I wasn't really like one of those gotta have music 24/7, but I needed something in my ear. I wasn't really a dancer at all. Like, I had 2 left feet, bruh, like 2 complete left feet. It was horrible. When I moved here from Palm Bay, Florida, I moved to Orlando, where I actually met my best friend, which is gonna be another episode we'll talk about. But he was into skating and stuff. I mean, we played basketball and stuff, but he was mostly into skating. Like, he was a skater. So they kind of introduced me into this skateboarding realm. I think Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I know it's getting revamped now, but it came out for Nintendo 64. Those who don't know who Nintendo 64 is, it's actually a game console that was really dope, and it had one of the best games on there, 007 GoldenEye. So we would play Pro Skater and then go outside, and he had a board, so that was that. We go outside and then we start skating again or whatever. We start dabbling around, doing different things, which was pretty cool, whatever the case. But then I couldn't really ask my mom for a skateboard. She would look at me like, "What are you talking about? Skateboard? Don't run around and do that jackass thing and ting." So I was just like, nah. So I had to scrounge up money and get my first skateboard. I actually got a skateboard from one of the skaters in the school. He gave me like his old rundown one, and I was just like, Grace, this is, like, I'm excited. I got my very own skateboard. So anyways, we started skating, and as everybody started off rocky, not really doing it good, and whatever the case may be, we started, and progressively we started getting better, started doing more crazier stuff, stair sets, drops, and all types of crazy stuff. So currently, at that time, when I'm doing that, I wasn't really into. I mean, we was listening to music. Obviously, you got to listen to music to jam in the car, but I wasn't really like, it wasn't dancing. I remember going to school dances, and I was the kid that was standing in the back, which is hilarious, right? And long story short, because I'm not going to get into all detail with that because that's a whole nother segment. That skating crew for like 4 years that I was around 24/7, kind of drifted and went different ways. They went and did other stuff that I wasn't really interested in doing, and I actually started doing step. Yes, my cousin Nate actually got me into step. He's another culprit. He was on a step team, and we actually started doing step, which was crazy because remember, I didn't dance, so step, what do I know anything about step, right? So anyways, when I'm doing step, and step actually came kind of easy to me because from skateboarding it was hand-eye coordination, whatever. But I started realizing I was picking up on stuff by just looking at it, and as I did with skateboarding, which I didn't really think too much of it, I would look at something and do it. So that then turned into a whole nother realm of, I wanted to go to college and I wanted to be in a fraternity and all this crazy stuff, Kappa for life, right? And that led me meeting Chris from Crossover, Chris Anji, as he goes by now, Ricardo, and J-Rock, which was part of a group that I was in, which is a whole nother episode I'm gonna get into. So we got like 10 episodes of this, okay? So just slow it down, right? So anyways, we end up doing the step. Then we had graduated high school. Then after step, we end up Ricardo actually made this dance crew, because at that time You Got Served was out, right? So everybody was You Got Serving and dancing around, and everybody thought they was either Omarion or Chris Brown at that time, which was kind of funny. And we formed a group called The Fam, or I should say Ricardo formed a group that was called The Fam, and that had, how many people was in it? I want to say 8. So it's like 4 girls and 4 boys. So we was going around doing shows at local UCF or colleges, and sometimes go back and do our high school talent shows and a whole bunch of crazy stuff. But we were getting booked regularly, like every single month. Like we were getting booked for something. So we were practicing like 4 to 3 times a week, just dancing, and that became like a thing for me. Like I was like realizing like, oh, we can make money off of this. Obviously we wasn't making like bank back then, but or I don't even know if we was making anything, but it was more of a recognition type stuff. But we were getting requested. So to me, if something's getting requested, then that means there's a market for it, right? So we started doing like these show auditions, and I remember Sinbad had some show coming up, and we went into that. That was pretty cool. And we did a couple other like reality shows or auditioned for them. We had an agent that was kind of down south in Stewart, Florida, and we had a couple of agents or actually artists from LA who wanted us to be their backup dancer while we went on tour. So we was thinking like past You Got Served type attitude, and was like, this might actually be something that would work, that would get money off of this. Well, at the same time and same strength and same push, Ricardo and Chris was in their group Crossover too, and it was like a tug and pull type of thing, and the Fam would have shows booked and Crossover would have shows booked. So it was one of those types of things that it was, whoa, hold up, we can't do your show and they can't do our show, which sucked because they were part of the group or whatnot. Ricardo ended up leaving. He ended up just starting doing like music full time. But me and him were semi always with each other. So anytime he was at the studio, I was at the studio with him too. And I started realizing like, yeah, this is dope. Like I like this. But at the time I didn't know how to rap. So I'm not claiming I'm the best rapper alive, even though I am the best rapper alive. I'm not claiming I'm the best rapper alive or anything like that. But I literally started rapping, let's say like 16, 17, 18, probably taking it seriously. And me and J-Raw, while we were doing the Fam stuff, we would make a little like rap mixtape or whatever. This is around the time, like, I know I'm dating myself, but this is around the time like when Jeezy was popping. Lil Wayne just came out with Fireman. So I'm looking at those and I'm doing the same thing that I realized I was doing with everything, as in with skateboarding, as in with stepping, as in with dancing. I was looking and mimicking. So a lot of times people say like I sound like Lil Wayne, or I remind him of Lil Wayne. I think it's because in the earlier beginning time I was using his style or using maybe his voice and was trying to write lyrics. So that then turned into something that I think made me realize that I wanted to, rap. Like I wanted to do this, and crossover helped that out because of the fact of being on stage. So when you boil it all down, I learned how to skate because of the friendship that was given to me, and it was something that was never like replaced. Like we skated because we were friends, and that passion then moved over to stepping. I learned how to step by visualizing what was being said or done, and then I used that skill from stepping to do the same thing lyrically and writing and portraying that. Stepping actually took the fear out of me because of the simple fact that I was shy. I was the kid that, again, stood in the back corner. I didn't really talk to anybody. I wasn't about that life. And stepping puts you out there. You're in front of hundreds of schools, stepping for them. So when I got into crossover, we started dancing, like, for those shows. It became second nature. It became something that I realized all of that led up to me being able to be the person I am and go on stage and not even care how many people's in the audience and do my dizzle, right? So yeah, that's the whole rundown, kind of quick. I didn't want to make this super long. Nutshell, the unspoken truth of me did all that to pretty much say that I was in the music business and not knowing that all of that was going to lead up into where I am now. So yeah, first episode, how music found me.